you work right now. So we're not talking really about your business. We're talking about what is your main focus. I know you've just launched a book, but what are you working on right now? What's taking your attention and your energy?
So, as you know, I've met a new partner. Well, so some of you know and some don't. So last year, towards the end of last year, was a bit of a massive change in my life of being 16 years a single lady, and this has kind of blown my life out a little bit. And as
A
we got
little
to know each
bit.
other. And as we got to know each other, and as we were working together before, and now we got into work even more closer, and we're actually putting a business together. So we're blending the digital transformation, digital experience with the customer experience and the employee experience, and we're bringing a business together where it's going to be called Elevated Experience. And this is kind of the focus we've had over the last probably 2 months. We're totally on it and about to launch, quite significantly in the next couple of weeks. So yes, so that's quite exciting.
Wow. Wow. So merging, merging, merging. And out of the blue, here comes a whole new person and changes everything, your life, your business, your the place you stay, everything. That's insane. Thank you for sharing, Claire. I think, Ian, we're going to go over to you and your lion. For those who just joined, hi, Andrea. Hi, Yana. We're asking people what they are working on right now. We're going to make it personable today. We're going to do as many things as possible for you to get to know each other better. And we've just asked Claire, what is she focusing on now? And she was sharing with us that after 16 years being 16, not 60, after 16 years being single, she has met the love of her life and it's changed everything, everything. Where she stays, the work, she's just merging, 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 merging. And I remember when me and Mike got together, we had to do the same. We had to go on an 8 month sabbatical to merge our businesses because Mike came out of the personal development industry and I came out of the consulting industry and boardrooms, and we had to sort of merge those things together. So those years, Mike's business was Rock Your Life with, what was your Cherise pink color?
EC008C.
You still remember the X code. And I was Angelus, and I was like human resources capital and risk management and labor law consulting. And we had to find a way to bring those two together. So thank you, Claire. Over to Ian and his lion. Ian, what is inspiring you at the moment and what are you working on right now?
Well, I can echo both of you in saying that I've also met the love of my life, and that we're doing incredible stuff together, and that is what I'm really excited about right now. So, I did launch my second book last year, which is the Journal for Liberating Leaders. So it's a journal, the
How
Egg-Based
stunning is
Leadership
that looking?
Journal. So and it's based on our leadership assessment, which assesses what the current state of leadership is in an organization or in an individual and so on. And we are literally doing a press release today.
Wow.
We are now expanding that. Instead of going, oh, what is the state of leadership in your business, or what is your personal state of leadership? We're actually going, what is the global state of leadership? What
Great.
state is leadership in the world? And so it's a new angle on taking our assessment out to the world of going, well, can we have data? So Gallup, for example, are doing what's the state of the workplace? And then they also talk about what's the state of staff engagement? And they're doing all these things. But we have a survey that can tell us, is the current state of leadership primarily survivor, striver, or thriver? Thriver being the more conscious leadership, and the two other states, and we've got enough data that we can talk about it, because we've got enough people who've done the assessment that we can say, well, majority of businesses have leaders in a striver state, in a survivor state, followed by a striver state. But what is the state of leadership in the world, and whether that's political leadership or organizational leadership or whatever. So we are taking to market this idea of, let's engage. There are benefits for the individual, there are benefits for society, there are benefits for organizations. Not only that, but when people finish the survey, they get this micro learning pathway. It's like 15 days of micro learning. And we've literally seen in organizations that have done the assessment a couple of times without the micro learning and nothing changes. And then we've seen an organization where they did the micro learning, and the next time we did the survey, none of the leaders were in a survivor state anymore. They'd all moved up to thriver state. So we can see a shift as well. So we know there's a ton of value in what we can do in making a more conscious leadership approach, but it starts with let's get the data first. And so that's what we are really excited about. But I'm going to hog the microphone and say this builds on what we've just launched, which was 2 months ago. We launched our Essence-Based Leadership Certification, which is a 1-year program with 150 micro learnings and workshops and all sorts of stuff that we can make totally scalable. It's the first time, thank you, Mike and Lundy, that I've actually developed a scalable product that doesn't require me for it to work. And I've got 8 facilitators who are being trained up to facilitate it and to take it to market. So we're building on that, but we now think that if I can step up and almost be this key person of influence in terms of this state of leadership assessment, that will give our facilitators and coaches the tools to go and sell the products. So it elevates me out of doing all the selling, but actually creating a movement, maybe. I don't know. So
that's brilliant. You're not only creating a movement, you're also creating now an asset, because once you have all the data from leaders globally, you've got an asset of data that the bank or whoever is going to want to buy. So very, very scalable. Really great. Well done. You're on fire.
Maybe I could just... Thank you. So maybe I could just add, Lundy, I think it was back in about 2019 in one of those weekend workshops, a year or so after I joined, that you said, the whole story about the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
Ian is a tortoise.
Yeah, I don't remember. That really stuck by you.
You're going to win, but it's taken you 7 years to get there,
Slow and steady wins the race. That's the motto of the tortoise. And, these tortoise people, you really catches people off guard because they think you're not operating in the background. But the magic of the tortoise is consistent, systematically growing, and then one day the hares go like, what the hell, how did the tortoise win? It's a superpower to have, I tell you. And you're now starting to see with this press release, whatever, that you're just about to cross that line. Well done.
So one of the things that well done, Ian. One of the things that we want to do in these sessions is get you to understand more about your fellow Circle of Excellence Club member so that you can reach out personally to the ones that you think, hey, there might be some connection here. There might be something that we can do together. There might be something that can build our brand. So, for instance, I just got off a call literally 10 minutes ago, and the lady on the call, who's a client of ours, asked me, how do I make my business seem global? And there was a few answers that I had for her, but one of the answers I had is start partnering up with other people around the Circle of Excellence world, because on this call, we've got, Europe on the call, we've got the Middle East on the call, we've got Australia, New Zealand on the call, and we've got Africa on the call. So we're already in 3.5 continents, if you like, that are on this exact call. So if something Ian has said or something Claire has said already has resonated with you, then, and you don't really know them, or you haven't, or you do know them, but to say, hi, how are you? Then have a call with them. Now, we're aware also, some of you have said, hey, I've got to go by 11 or 10 and on the half hour or whatever. So we'll keep this to an hour. Janine, let's go to you now.
Hi there, everyone. Well, what I'm working on at the moment, it's like a year of learning that I've had to go through in terms of AI, because AI is a big thing in my business, and AI is changing the way my business operates, because the market that I had before is saying, all right, well, I can go to AI. I can get AI to do it. So I had to upskill myself quite significantly and technically. So what I'm working on at the moment is I'm in marketing, brand strategy, communications, and implementing that for companies and also teaching them how to do it effectively. But I'm finding there's a gap, and the gap is in the systems they put in place. So they don't have proper digital marketing systems. They don't even have a CRM in place. They're using Excel spreadsheets. So I found an AI platform, which we're currently enhancing and developing, that will enable people to actually digitally market, track, use AI to actually speed up their work, use AI to analyze what they're doing, and even build landing pages and websites. So it's very, very exciting. And we're about to go to market with our white label product so that we can have people, they have the strategies, we can put the marketing plans together, but now they can run it, and they can even run it themselves if they want to. We'll teach them how to use it. So I'm very excited because it's been a year-long journey for me. That's me.
Well done, Janine, for being ahead of the curve. You would think because of AI, everyone is getting themselves skilled up and trained in that area, but you ahead of the curve here. People are very resistant still. So it's really, really good to hear that you're making yourself a national asset.
Thank you.
Well done. I would recommend that you and Andrea also have a chat with each other, that you two have a nice marketing chat, that you check in with each other here, get a wine. You can see Andrea says, get yourself a wine, get on the call. Maybe that looks more like body shots, but okay, whatever. That you get on a call and you have a nice chat about it. I think you two have a lot to talk about, and the different perspectives from the different countries would be great.
And one of the most interesting conversations that I had recently that really stuck with me, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, but because we're on a new call and some of you haven't heard this, is that one of our clients was at a very high-level event recently, which had entrepreneurs and corporates in it, all women. It was a women's event. And the question of the event organizer was, how are you integrating AI into what you're doing in your job? And it was interesting that the entrepreneurs were integrating AI, and none of the corporates were. And so it showed me that even though statistical data is coming out that's saying corporates are involving AI in their roles and everything like that, most of it is not much more than using Google as they did in the past. So what we think, and what Janine's talking about in developing AIs that are going to assist us in being more streamlined and more effective, corporates are talking that, but they're not necessarily doing it. So I think there's a gap starting to happen between our understanding of corporate and AI and what the corporate's understanding is. Janine, your hand's up.
Yeah, because a lot of people another thing that people are using generative AI, and that's your large language models, right? So they're going into ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, and they're using it to produce content, or they're using it just to go for research and layering. But AI is more than that. And AI is moving to agentic systems, which is getting them to kind of move like agents and employees. So you can literally have AI doing 4 jobs. And I think that's why entrepreneurs are moving very quickly, because they're understanding that. Whereas the corporates is this big engine that has to take place. You've got privacy policies, you've got all the policy systems and all of that. So, and I think it's a bit of a more complex environment.
Do you think, Janine, because of that, we're going to see the decentralization of more corporates? Because it's always been the problem. This big ship can't turn and they can't compete with an entrepreneurial market that's very fluid. Do you think we're going to see them decentralize more because of this to keep up with changing times? Or are you just seeing big structures falling over like the Tower of Pisa?
Look, what I'm seeing in the market, because I am working with an AI company that's actually global. And what they're seeing is that the larger organizations, yes, they can't move, but they're using AI to move. They're wanting to use AI to move faster. And so what they were doing is they're adopting it in a department. So there's a business unit and they're trying to prove a use case in that business unit. How can it move quicker? How can it move faster? And then once they can prove it in one, they can start moving it. And ultimately, hopefully, you've got a more efficient, fast operating environment.
Gosh, good luck to them for doing that. Andrea, you've got your hand raised as well. Thank you, Janine. Thank you for that perspective. Andrea?
I was going to say, I really support what Janine is actually saying. The Australian landscape is, they're a little bit backward at the corporate level insofar as their the integration of AI tools. However, in saying that, what's been interesting just with some of the high level conversations that we've been having in with our strategic partners who actually have a lot to do with corporates. And it's very much what Janine was saying, is that what they're looking at first and foremost is there a department or an area within that corporate that we can essentially test, build, and go that way instead. It's almost like a pilot. One of our strategic partners actually is working with some really interesting, doing some really interesting stuff inside corporates here in Australia across a number of different industries. And interestingly enough, we've got one of our clients who we're building out a platform that is looking to be integrated into the mining, oil and gas sector. Not only here, starting in Australia first and foremost, and then looking at the feasibility of that being then spread out into other countries under that same umbrella. So they've also got to be very aware of how they utilize AI as well, because don't forget, there is still a lot of data risk, a lot of data security issues that you've got to be aware of. They've got billions to lose. The average entrepreneur has probably got a couple of 100,000 to lose. So the pain is, the pain can be felt because they've also got shareholders and stakeholders that they've got to think of. The big one, though, is data sovereignty. That's the big one. And that is, where does that sit? In what respective countries? Where is the head office, and then where is the satellites? So I think what you'll see too is that organizations like Microsoft, I wouldn't be too surprised if they're really advancing in this area with corporate as well, purely because they do use, a lot of corporates are very big on Copilot, which is the Microsoft product. So I wouldn't be too surprised if there's already products out there that are just not for the SME sector, but are really for that large corporate, that 3% of businesses.
Yeah, even if you look at the AI daddies, if you may, it's only a few companies, and they would be crazy not to partner with the big ones, because the big ones just can't keep up. The go-to words now really is speed to market. Everyone is speeding to market with their products and services, whatever. And my I wouldn't say concern, because there's no control that we really have over it. My curiosity around this is, the immense amount of money that's getting spent on stuff that will be in a year from now outdated again. I'm not sure I want to invest in that at all.
It's going to be it's definitely tough to keep up with the Joneses in this field. Yeah. Let's talk to Claire Gilchrist. What have you been working on?
Myself.
That's fantastic.
As always. No, I was sort of thinking, what am I going to say? Look, in a nutshell, I have just completed a 21-year spiritual journey.
Wow.
And brought me magic, pain, anguish, magic, good stuff, massive change. And it's actually just finished now in May. So what I've had to get used to over the last couple of months, I think I'm just a work in progress, really aiming to start my year in June, to be honest. I haven't been able to focus on a lot of my business, bar pulling together a lot of my work under that self-empowerment hub. Lundy, I think you and I spoke about that.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
just designed the business cards, got them ready, busy on my online course and testing. And this is very exciting, testing a new way of being, because things do change you, on a very few bipolar clients that I'm working with and having the most extraordinary results. It's
Well,
obviously something I'm here to do, and
yeah.
having developed modality out of my own journey, it's now reached the peak point. So I've had to adjust the way I work. It was quite difficult, but as I tried it, as it went more into using the energy that I have rather than just the words, because I'm a very wordy counselor. I got a call from London last week from the family of a very, very severe client that I've been working with for 3 years. And when you get a message saying, have you got 10 minutes, and you know your client's down in London with the family, I just thought, oh, here we go. Because we'd had quite a rough session the week before. And instead, I got a phone call going, what have you done? And I said, I don't know what you mean. Eek. And she said, but we've all gone, but she's like normal. What have you done? It took her through a lot of what we had been looking at. And from just even researching my own process, I'm starting to understand that a lot of mental health issues you can actually leave behind you. So that's been a very, very exciting breakthrough, but it's all been small and contained. I do feel now from this time onwards and June onwards, I'm going to be able to start moving out there, which will be wonderful.
How
Wow,
wonderful.
Claire, tell me, how are you so sure that that cycle of initiation has come to an end? I'm so curious to know, are you looking at the astrology? Does it feel like that energetically, or what is giving you that clarity?
Okay, so look, if I take you back 21 years and going through journeys like this, you end up being very attuned to not just yourself, not just your intuition, your guidance teams, so I get guided. And then I'll often actually use AI. We were having a talk now about AI. How fascinating that you can find really interesting esoteric information on AI.
Yeah.
It has the ability to pull off some of the sites that you don't get to see every day. So it's basically, I don't get nearly as much guidance as I used to, because I'm not really the appy in the room anymore. I'm not the student. I'm now coming into, I suppose, what you'd call mastery. But it's now not as loud a voice in my ear as it used to be. It's a faint hint. And I'll just start thinking, okay, it's next weekend that everything's going to come. So I prepare for it. Then my body goes ballistic, comes out in welts. Candida goes all over the place. And then everything settles like today, and I'm fine. And
Wow.
I'm still working the process, because to let energies like this settle, everything that your body was, everything that you've cleared, everything that you've worked on, everything that you've been, a lot of it has to move out, but your physical body still hangs on to those patterns. And then there are glitches in things sort of coming in. It's been the story of my life for years. So I do know the process, but your human self still panics now and again. But yes, I pretty much get guided. And I'll just have one word drop in saying, this is happening. And then I've got to go off and do a whole lot of work and try and understand why it's happening, how I need to handle it, and where we're going. So the upshot is, funny enough, over the last 6 weeks, I have done more reading and research than I've done in many years, because I wasn't functioning too well. Some of this is really rough stuff, but we're there now, and there's quite a
You're
lot of
here,
relief.
Claire. You are here. Look at you. And now you're
So
paying the gift of yours forward, right?
now it's all forward. So by June, I have the sense I'm going to be able to pick up work and start doing with it what I've been wanting to for the last couple of years, but I just haven't been able to. You can't run too much of this at once. It absolutely annihilates you. So Oh, funny journeys on a funny planet. That's all I can say.
Thank you for sharing, Claire. Really, it is funny journeys
Yeah.
on a funny planet.
Well said.
Janif, over to you. Your time has come.
What have you been working on?
Okay, hi guys. First of all, I'm very proud to be part of this amazing group and to get inspired by all of you and to learn from Mike and Landy. And if I put a headline for 2026 is take my professional and global career to the next level. What excites me is to have more consulting and more speaking gigs all over the world, especially with companies and corporates. I have having lots of changes now, both in my personal life and my professional life. First of all, my family, I'm 49 years old. I live in Tel Aviv, Israel. I'm married for the second time. I have a baby, is now today actually 1 year old.
Oh, congratulations.
Tomorrow we celebrate with the families, and we plan another baby, me and Natalie, and I have two boys from chapter 1 from the first marriage. They are 15 and 17 years old. If you were in Cairns, you saw my family. Lots of changes. I develop myself all the time, so I would like to succeed more for my family and to inspire my family. If we talk about my country, Israel, so we are at war for 3 years now, and one of my conclusions was I need to develop more my international career, because in Israel it's not stable. Our economy is very strong, but there are always wars. With Iran, with Gaza, with Lebanon, each time with different enemy, and now there is a ceasefire, but every day it can be stopped. So I need to develop more my international career. And my market is changing. We talked about AI, so I teach sales and marketing and persuasion and negotiation. And I think even in AI era, you need to develop. This is my mission, to develop the communication skills of people, because there are lots of people that they lose these capabilities when they just become technological. And there are many people who like the technology but don't want the technology to take over their lives. So what I think my mission is to teach businesses and people how to be leaders and to be experts and to sell more and to market themselves and their businesses even in AI era by themselves. So this is what I teach, and I believe and I feel that I got lots of track record. I've been doing this for 26 years now, and global speaker since the year 2000, more than 2,500 speaking gigs in 18 countries in 5 continents. But I'm very hungry for success, like I didn't do anything. And one of the things I realized that professionally, I have all.
So Janif just frozen. Janif, if you can hear us, you are frozen.
We cannot hear you. Oh, there he is.
Oh, you're unfrozen. Yeah.
You're unfrozen.
Yeah. So I even you hear me now. So I even got
Yes.
I even got this award. So all my track record is now finished. So I need to take it to the next level to get more people to know me. I think I have great stuff. So my projects now are to make my content more scientific. What we talked about, science sells. So I make a new blueprint, you saw it, and I develop it all the time. I am now making with my team a new website, my new English website, which would be very innovative. So I would like for people to know my models, and I really want to inspire more people worldwide. And this is one reason why I'm part of this amazing group, and I learn so much from each one and one of them.
Janif, quickly show us that award again. It was too quick. Tell what this award is about.
It says here, Keynote Presenter Award for Excellence 2026. Okay, so I got it in Cairns now. By the way, it took me by surprise. I expected to get my CSP. I expected to have a great presentation, which I did. But this award at the end of the conference, and it showed me that professionally I'm there. Professionally, I now at this group who can take $10,000 for each speaking gig and more. And the last session with Mike, he told us a great sentence that we get $5,000 for topics and we get $25,000 for solving problems. So this is the upgrade I need to have, because I'm very good at teaching topics. Okay, I'm very good in being very practical to teach practical tools. I'm now at the level of $5,000, $7,000, $8,000 per speaking gig. I got 10,000, but I would like to take it to the next level and to be worthy of getting $15,000 each time. And so it's both mentally, because I need to believe in myself that I'm willing to earn these amounts, and it's both practical, because my clients need to understand why they are paying me this kind of money and which problems I solve to them. So the development is both ways, both professionally and personally.
Well said. And they go in tandem, don't they, Arnav?
Yeah. Yeah. And go together. The business side and the personal side goes together, and this is what excites me. This is why I'm here.
One thing I want to mention, Yaniv, because I find the more I get to know you, the more I realize how good you are at picking up, and I'm saying this for everybody, how good you are at picking up the one or two things that are actually going to make all the difference. Mm-hmm. So what you've picked up from the last 6 months or so of us working together is science sells. Ian would back that up, right? Because he's been down that journey for a number of years and has been through increasing his prices and all of that sort of stuff. And number two that you've picked up now is don't speak to a topic, solve a problem. And those two things alone could be the doubling of your current business.
It's profound, yeah.
It's that profound, right? People worry so much about, oh, have I got the right client? And, should I wear a green dress or a blue dress or all this sort of stuff? But none of that really matters. It's things like this that matter. Okay.
Absolutely. So lucky last, Cobus. And
no, we've got Andrea.
Oh, we have got Andrea and Cobus. Sorry, Andrea. We get Andrea first, Andrea, then Cobus. And then we're going to throw you into breakout rooms for interesting discussions, okay? So, Andrea, you first, and then over to Cobus.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Great to be here again. And looking forward to catching up in Bali in August. So I will definitely be there. We'll get that sorted. Look, one thing I've learned, I think the older I get, the more I learn and the less stupid I feel, which is fantastic. And it's, and what I'm finding really fascinating, and I'll start here if this is okay, and that is, they tell you that when you get old, you're about to be put on the get out of here pile. And what's been really fascinating is that over the last in particular the last 6 months, what I've really come to appreciate and really connect strongly with, and that's wisdom. We gain wisdom through experiences, which comes from being prepared to F things up a few times. Because why that's where you learn the most lessons is in those mistakes. Where it kind of goes from wisdom to stupidity is when you keep making the same flipping mistakes and you don't learn. So that's been a really interesting aha moment for me over the last 6 months. And the reason why wisdom has kind of become a real, a real foundation for me, and that is, as Mike and Landy know, it was 10 years when we lost Josh, my son, in Easter. And, look, there's something that you learn about yourself through that journey. And what was really interesting was when we buried, this is on a personal level, when we put Josh in the ground, we cremated him. But because of a family issue, he was buried in a plastic urn. Which he wasn't happy about, can I tell you? And he's made it known that he wasn't happy about being in a plastic urn. And to make it worse, it was pink. Sorry.
What?
I had to get the last laugh somehow. So, it was pink. So you can imagine a 25-year-old staunch Maori boy being buried in a pink plastic urn. Yeah,
not working out, no.
Yeah, got a real great sense of humor. So one of the things that came through was, this happened about July last year, and that was, I've got to get my son out of the box. And so it was never a matter of if, it was always a matter of when. Well, that when happened to coincide with Easter, that 10-year anniversary. Yeah. So that was really powerful too, because just FYI, you're not meant to dig them back up again, just saying. When they go in, they're meant to go in and stay there. So we kind of took it through the how we deal with grief from an Indigenous perspective. We found him. He had moved. And we're like, how the hell can you move? It was only meant to be a small bloody hole, but anyway, he did. But we found him and we got him out and we poured him back into the space and then cut up the plastic urn, and then we had to put that back in, and then we buried him up. What does that actually do to you as an individual? Well, you end up reliving the grief all over again. You know, and everything kind of, it's like your tendons and your nerves are raw once again, and you're there straight away, you're back there. And then it's almost like someone's put you on speed dial, and suddenly it's rather than taking 10 years, it kind of takes 4 to 6 weeks. And so during that period, I came back from New Zealand and, got back into the work side of things. And what was really interesting for me, and this is a bit of an aha lesson, and that is when you have nothing else to be a barrier for you, then really there is nothing else. There is just now you. And that was the very last thing I had to do. So now there's nothing to really hold me back. Not that there really was anyway to begin with. But what it does do is it gives you clarity, because you start to realize that the world is literally your oyster. And when you have nothing else that you're building this for other than yourself, I do feel that that's really difficult. That's difficult. It's because it's easier to go, I'm building this for my family, and I'm building this for my children, and I'm building this for my parents, and but when you don't have that, right, you go, whoa, well, why are you really doing it? Really? Like what really is that BHAG, that big, hairy, audacious goal? So it has allowed me to really get to have some really difficult conversations with myself, and to go, well, now what? Now what? Which has then really encouraged me to start to put in place all of the execution components, that I've spoken with Mike and Landy about. So we've instigated a 2-year exit strategy for me out of my marketing company, which I'm really kind of super excited by, to be honest. And I'm leaving it in amazing hands. And I've got some phenomenal people that have crazily stuck with me for the last 4 or 5 years, and wonder they must be just as mad as me. But that's been really exciting, because the company has now also shifted and morphed. And where we've kind of moved to, and this is the really exciting thing when you talk about science and data gathering. So science sells, data talks. And for us, where we now sit is more so in that validation, data intelligence gathering. So Ian, when you were talking about gathering data, that's where we sit. That's our niche space now. And what's happened is, through a consistent conversation over 6 months, 6 to 12 months, talking about market research, is that really a good idea? Is your next move a good idea? Really? Should you really be doing that? What's actually happened for us is the quality of the strategic alliances we're now making. And I kind of alluded to this last night. And so what's happened is we now talk about, well, you go and get a commercial due diligence, you get a legal due diligence, but do you actually go and get a market due diligence? In other words, does the market really exist? Really? And so what's happened, and I don't know if you saw me before, but we just got an email and I went, like, this is because one of our deals, Landy, that I was talking about last night, we've just got the green light go on.
Yay!
Yeah, and it's all to do.
Ring the bell.
We are ring the bell, ding, ding, ding. And the second one, which is the big one, it looks like it's just gone to the next stage as well for us to come back in. So clarity is something that I've really come to respect and appreciate. Wisdom is the central of how we position ourselves in the marketplace. So that's really turning into big guns for us. So last night, we talked about being a hunter or a farmer, and we are seriously in the sniper range.
Great.
We have
You stalk them and
cleaned our guns, baby, and we are like, so we are so excited, I tell you. So that's on that part. Tomorrow, the four of us jump on a plane from Brisbane. We head down to Sydney. We've got BNI Australia National Conference. We are the principal sponsors again, because, couldn't help it last year. So we've done it again this year. And really what we're honing in on in that presentation, 10-minute presentation, is validate to accelerate.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So validate to accelerate. Essentially, it's not that you don't know how to make a decision. It's just, are you getting the right information to make the decision? And we're just going to walk people through our go, no go pinch point. So go, no go pivot. And hopefully the technology won't stuff it up this year. So that's kind of going on at the moment. And also there's the international medical technology stuff that I'm involved with heavily in the Philippines as well. And once again, when you go with flow and clarity, it's amazing how all that kind of opens up as well. So I was in China for the first time in March.
Wow.
I went and had a look at our factories. Oh, that's so much fun. Yeah, so just recommend, if you've never been to China and you go there on business, wear stretchy pants. Really important, because they love to host you. So stretchy pants is the key.
Stretchy pants. I'll make a note of that. Thank you.
Stretchy pants. And then we're back there. So I'm back there again, July, back into the Philippines, China. And then hopefully I'll come and collapse at the door at Vision Villas for a week. So that's kind of where it's at. It's we are firmly in abundance mode, and very, very thankful for Universe for really not necessarily laying out the pathway, because the pathway was always there, but providing me with the space, the place, and the grace to walk the path on at my own pace. So very, very grateful and thankful for that.
Thank you, Andrea. Wow. And thank you for sharing such a part of your personal journey, because I think it's clear for people on this call that the personal journey flows into the professional journey, and the professional journey flows into the personal journey. We can't separate it, right? It is the same thing. Exactly. So, and thank you also for giving me great insight into Mike, because listening to you, I now understand why he's so globally focused and changing the world and all that, because there was nothing else. There was only him to focus on and the world. Whereas for me, it was so different. Having my immediate family and people around it, my focus seemed to go there first before changing the world. And you've given me a great insight to that. So thank you so much. And also, I have been really, really sitting with dogging my own dad up. But he wasn't cremated, so I'm not sure how that works, because he got buried in a place in South Africa that's not hot. And, the shacks is literally going over his grave. It's now to the point where it's too dangerous for me to go and visit his grave. And I'm not sure from an indigenous and shamanic perspective if you can dug a person up. The problem is I've dreamt about him being unhappy where he is. So I'm not sure. I feel an obligation. So I don't know what to do. Actually.
Yeah. If you ever want to have a conversation about that, I would be honored.
I would love to do that.
I would love to. I would be honored. Seriously. It's
cool. Thank you. I'll check in with you at some stage. We're going now to France and Berlin, and when I come back, I'll check in with you, and then we'll have a nice chat about that. Thank you, Andrea. Cobus.
Let's go with Cobus the Viking. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, here I am, not hiding anymore. Good morning to say everyone. Andrea, all the kisses. I love it. Kisses back to everyone. Nice to see all of you. And yeah, I just thought I saw this happening this morning. Let me quickly jump on and see what it's about. What's been happening? Busy looking at scaling my business internationally. So I've partnered up with someone in Germany to help me to get into Europe. And the only reason for that as well is to get a visum that is long enough for the Schengen area. So I don't have to worry about applying all the time. I'm going to the US now in July for a
Just
conference.
to be clear, Cobus, so you're not marrying someone in Germany for a visa, you're partnering.
Partnering up, yes. No, I've been single now for a year, so I'm enjoying the single life.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to July to the US, open up a company there as well to look at, and the only mind behind it is easier for people overseas to trust you if you have something based in that area. Because every time, oh, you're from Africa, then it's like, I think I lose trust in that sense when I say I'm from Africa.
I do, yeah. Ask me about it.
Yeah, so that is Australia. That's what's it called? The USA. So that's my focus. I was using a software a while back, and it didn't work out with the person that provided the software. And I saw potential, so I created a new business. I launched the business about 2 weeks ago. It's called BSC Ignite Agency. And what it is doing is helping small businesses with one platform to run all the their business on. So all the software, from calendar links to invoicing to running social media websites, online stores, just all of that in once. And so we just launched that. And that's helped me a lot with my small business clients. I've signed up more coaching clients on the small business side. And that has allowed me to grow that. And because one of the partners is someone that does publishing, we're going to help with some business owners to help them to publish their books. And that's part of our legacy platform. So how to leave your legacy. And then doing some digital marketing for clients on that side as well. So I've just launched that, and just for the potential, sometimes when someone, I'm not going to say it takes you for a ride, but when you don't get what you are promised, then it's like, okay, let me go and create it. It's a business opportunity. So did that. I just got back from the UK, had an amazing connection with a lot of people that side. I received an award. Let me be like Dr. Yaniv. So this is the top 100 a reputable African in Africa award. So went to receive.
Well done, Cobus. Well done. And tell people a little bit of what you've been doing in London at the Reputation Forum, the Global Reputation Forum. Tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was on the panel to discuss about the importance of leadership and reputation in today's time. And there was amazing other, might love, like, because he loves music, I met Wouter Kellerman. I don't know if you ever heard of Wouter Kellerman. He plays flute, Freetown Grammy Award winner. So that was amazing. Met the Princess of Eswatini. She was there as well. So there's more to mention, but it was a great networking event of connecting with these like-minded people, and we sort of had a brainstorming session around as well, what to do in Africa, how can we be a change, how can we make a difference. And so that was a great experience. And then I stayed there for an extra 10 days. In those 10 days, I set up meetings with a few of them and a few people that I know in the UK. And wow, one thing I love about the UK is it's only if South Africa could have that, where you can just jump on a train and you're there wherever you need to be around the corner.
Yeah, isn't it fantastic? Yeah,
it's true. I'm busy trying to book trains between Paris and Berlin at the moment, and boy, oh boy, are they ridiculously priced. It's crazy.
Yeah,
the UK is so simple.
Yeah, it's so simple.
Let's jump into our breakouts for 10 minutes?
Yes. Thank you, Cobus. Thanks for everyone for sharing. These smaller, intimate groups are great for getting to know each other. And me and Mike always try and encourage you to keep on checking with each other, not once, but twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. If you're willing to do that, you're genuinely building a global family. And I want to define a global family for you. A global family is not a bunch of connections. A global family is your brothers and sisters around the world, right? So you don't come to these things to decide who you like and who piss you off. You come to these things to love people and support people and receive that love and support back. Because, Andrea's story really inspired me today to remember that Many of us at some stage is going to be alone. Many of us at some stage is going to go through that process that Andrea went through. And then who are you going to turn to? You want to have your brothers and sisters around the world, people that you get to know, that you invest in, and that you open your heart up to receive that love in return, so that you all can support each other. Just us on this call can do amazing things together. So I'm literally going to ask if we can create more than 2 breakout rooms, so we have 2 people chatting to each other at a time. And
let's go with 3 then.
Let's go with 3. So we're going to do 3 breakout rooms. We're going to make the groups really small and intimate. The discussion is going to be around ancient civilizations, sacred wisdom, anything that you feel comes from the way you were brought up and that you have used successfully in business today. It can be something from your religion. It can be something from your indigenous culture. It can be something from a spiritual or energetic belief you have that you believe has spilled into the way it's affecting your business. Andrea gave us a very good example today of how she went and took Joss out of the pink box and how that cleared energy and how she's feeling incredible. I can almost hear Joss laugh, but how you feel the clearance of the energy. Many of us have those type of stories where something happened and it comes from ancient wisdom. It comes from sacred civilizations, the old, and it's still as relevant, if even not more relevant today in business. So we're going to put you in different breakout rooms and we're going to give you 10 minutes.
About 8 minutes.
8 minutes, and then we're going to
try and wind it up. Okay, then.
And then we want to hear what you have to say.
See you.
See you.
Okay, that's looking good. Off you should go. There you go.
Okay, so what did you say?
Just going to go to the toilet. That's a nice group. I think they're all doing stuff. Some of them very successful.
But it's valuable for us too to have these sessions because you hear what they are doing. You're getting them to talk, right?
Yeah.
I would have listened to when I listened to it. Well, me and you don't really have anything exciting to share. I'm not going to get a certain little blind for me. You're just where we are, but I'll get here. We think we're really happy the same thing. We both want to eat, and I hope to do it before the company. But I think this is not going to last forever. Well, I think we're going to have a very interesting discussion now. Without saying debrief.
I think most of them are going to want to go to the block.
See, pumpkin size with the vote. When did everyone have a talk and vote? You know? All we want to do is eat. Andrew seems to be in a very good space. Ian seems to be in a very good space.
No, seems to be a good
Yeah,
spot.
it seems to be. Whoever seems to be. Ian and Bill, they don't like us.
No. You said he's been single for about a year. That's about the last time we saw him.
Yeah, no, obviously it didn't work. I think she was too secretly meeting me. She wanted his attention. I don't think he was ready for a relationship. I do think he lost the relationship.
No, I tend to agree.
If it comes to the relationship, it becomes someone different and it becomes a different thing. Oh, menu. There's only two such nutbags. I would like you to also be able to report back in May and things to do. I think we'll get there, eh?
Yep. Nearly time to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, comes from having had to have made my breakfast 1,000 times over.
How much time is
I'm just letting Claire back in.
can make our little
Hi, Claire.
Okay, I don't know where I am now. Guys?
You're back with us, but I can't reassign you at this stage, so you must have.
No.
Yep.
I
Ready for the
joined
other
and
scum.
kicked me right off. So yeah, it just
You got kicked.
I got kicked. I got booted.
Sometimes you just get booted. So I'm bringing them back in 1 minute now. So
All right.
let's see what happens. Okay.
Well, if I could just have a turn on my own just to discuss the topic, because it does actually
Sure.
feature quite a lot of my work if we have
We would
time.
love to hear what you have to say.
We would. Okay. I'm going to close the rooms now.
Yeah,
because
they can come back.
Takes 30 seconds to close a room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
They have 60 seconds to leave their breakout room, so they'll be back in less than a minute now.
Okay.
Yep. They'll all start tuning out now and coming back.
Yeah, it says here 37 seconds, 36 seconds.
We'll start with you,
Yeah.
Claire,
And then we'll go to the rest.
and then we'll go to everybody else. Okay.
I'll use this time to update my lips.
Go for it. Best time in the world.
This is actually a lipstick that a lady for me made in New Zealand.
This is the Lundy
Cherry.
brand of lipstick.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
That's
a very
really, yeah, I've done an online course, but just solidly teaching online. I had my lipstick, my tea, my everything, any second that you can just quickly touch up.
Exactly. We're talking lipstick, everyone. Okay, so for some reason Claire got lost in transition. So before we hear what you all have to say, I'm talking about Claire Gilchrist. We're going to give Claire maybe an opportunity to give us her spin on this first, and then we'll want to hear what you all discussed. So Claire, let's go.
Okay. I've just got to get my thoughts together here. But, you know, I think in terms of not just your business, but new work. As I said just now, funny journeys, funny planet. I mean, things are happening quite exponentially. So, quick description. I truly focused on, mostly coaching, training, and personal counseling before COVID. And when COVID started, and because obviously, you know, you locked down, you couldn't go anywhere physically, I am also a very alone person. I thought I'd just say that to Andrea. And it's a very different way of approaching your life, because your work, discoveries, business, it becomes, you know, a lot to you, and it does give you the freedom to do that. So I had probably about 5-6 clients at the time, and that did expand as lockdowns came in and lifted. But I was doing a lot of phone sessions because we hadn't really got all the internet stuff together. I mean, it's amazing how it's changed in these years. And I had a lot of time and a lot of space to reflect on my sessions and think about them and start understanding that mental health issues, like the severe ones, like bipolar, ADHD, body dysmorphia, types of anxiety, depression, mood swings, focus issues, even dyslexia, were all underpinned by very, very common behaviors. And I only noticed this because of the time and the silence and the intensity of my sessions at that time. As time went on and I started analyzing this and I started researching it, and I put together focus groups and I put together panels where I would ask them behavioral questions, bearing in mind that these guys weren't related by culture, race, age, upbringing in any way. And they would all deliver me the same answer every single time. And I started understanding that I'd basically uncovered, I suppose you could call it sacred wisdom, about the origin of a lot of where these, let's call them illnesses, but they could be called symptoms of deeply subconscious patterns or archetypes. And that tapping into that wisdom and then testing it and regressing people and seeing where a lot of the stuff came from. You know, are we looking at ancestral? Are we looking at family? Are we looking past that into other lives? And that formed the basis of a brand new modality to treat these ailments at source, which is quite different. But I look at it and go, that's where sacred wisdom played a huge part in this, because yes, my journey has always been spiritual, but tapping into that has given me a completely different spin on mental health issues, which needs to go out there, and a different way of approaching the treatment in a way that you can actually walk out of it. It is possible. So yes, a very, very profound influence, let's say, of that on my, not just my business, but a whole different way of approaching an area in the health industry that I don't think is being treated particularly well.
Well done. I think it's really good, nice insights as well. Thank you, Claire.
I just want to add on to this quickly. It feels like we're taking ourselves at face value, but we are multidimensional. And that multidimensionality is not just us, which is the tip of the iceberg. It's a lineage and a whole bloodline of behaviors and scarcity mentality and poverty mentality and addictions and all the, crap that we struggle with. So thank you, Claire. Thanks for that.
Let's go to the other Claire and Claire.
Claire and Claire. That's a nice product, Claire and Claire.
Claire and Claire. So who was in the room with you, Claire, and what did you discuss?
Well, Yaniv was Yaniv and I we were together, so we had a quick catch up over Cairns and what happened since Cairns, really, which was really lovely. And we discovered a little bit about what we do in terms of, well, the ancient wisdom, or the wisdom that Yaniv do believe in comes from Israel and being Jewish, and it's all about sharing. So something that I do as a person, it's not about keeping it for myself, but it's about, opening up and making it accessible to everybody around us, and how can we really share more around that. So that was a beautiful way to talk about sharing and collaborations and that kind of things. And for me, it's all about feng shui. So the feng shui principle, the Chinese principles, I've been a practitioner for the last 15, 16 years, and I bring that into businesses. That's kind of my little magic wands in terms of customer experience. And yes, so that's kind of what we talked about.
And I think with you and Andy, and being geographically where you're located with Yaniv, there's some good potential things that you might be able to do together in helping each other as well, because what he speaks about doesn't cover any ground of what both of you speak about, and vice versa. So there's a nice little mix up there, and I'd encourage you both to have an off-the-record chat and Zoom call and explore anything that you could do together. Yaniv, anything to add?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, it was an amazing talk with Claire. I think I would like to elaborate a little bit about Israel and the Jewish people, because we have an ecosystem. I can tell you I'm proud Israeli and proud Jew whenever I go. But I learned from you, to Michael Landy, to talk up more about it, because I treated myself, we talked about solutions versus topics. So I always treat myself like a sales expert or marketing expert. So they took me to share information, not to talk about myself. But I realized that people are interested about myself and my country and my background. So the Jewish people were a minority for all over the history, in any country till Israel was born. And as a minority, you need to be excellent. You need to be excellent, because otherwise you can't succeed, because you have struggles and you have regulation against you, etc. So in Israel and the Jewish people, we have an ecosystem, business ecosystem, professional ecosystem, how to be an expert, how to be professional at what you do. And it's for practical reasons, because Jewish people were hunted minority all over the years, and because Israel is a very small country, just 10 million people. When I ask people all over the world how many people are in Israel, usually they start from 100 million and going, and more. But we are just 10 million people, and we're a very, very small country.
I didn't know 10 million. Wow.
Yeah, for example, we are fighting Iran now. Iran is 100 times more in the size than Israel, okay? And we are beating Iran, but they are 100 times more in size, okay? So we're a very small country, and we're surrounded by enemies. So we are like, our economy is like an island economy, you're surrounded by enemies, so you need to export your knowledge, export your things. So if you start a startup in Israel, immediately you will go to the Nasdaq, the American stock exchange, or you immediately would like to sell yourself out there. And if you write a book, then the Israeli market is small, you immediately would like to be a bestseller on Amazon. So there is an ecosystem of being proactive, being innovative, being hard worker. So these are the things I learned from the Israeli education system and from the Jewish tradition of 3,000 years. So I'm proudly talking about it now, because I realize that people are more and more care about to hear this kind of stuff. So it's not just the practical tools that I teach, it also combined with the background. This is what people are inspired by. And also I realized when I developed my global activity that I inspire lots of people in Israel, because many Israelis, they seek for people to succeed outside of Israel. And I think maybe the best PR for Israel is successful Israelis out there. So I see from my clients in Israel that they don't have global activities, but they're very inspired by me. So they come more and more to me, because for them, if I come from Cairns to Israel, I'm going to have a big conference in Israel, by the way, next week, then I'm coming for the future, because I heard in Cairns lots of topics from global speakers, and I come and teach speakers in Israel. So I come for the future, because things that they talk about in Cairns, in Israel, it will be common knowledge in 5 years from now, something like that. But I show them now what the future holds, you know. So this is my magic power if you go global.
Fine,
Very
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Very good. Thank you for that.
Thank you,
I agree with you. We all should be talking more about our heritages and things like that. Ian, who was in your group?
Yeah, it was me with Andrea, of course. You know, and we desperately wanted to be together, so it was great.
Good. I think there
So
would be
what
a
we
lot of
discovered-
there.
So what we discovered, I mean, in addition to everything that we heard earlier about the Maori ancestry from Andrea, is that she and I both have Celtic ancestry, Scottish ancestry, the Anderson, and on my side, my great grandmother was Jane Ross, and we're just talking about our heritage and how they come together. And you know, for me, the triquetra became part of my brand from my visits to Ireland and Scotland, and just realizing I had such an affinity with the brand, with the symbols, and then, you know, adding the red pill for the matrix, taking the red pill rather than the blue pill, but we just found there's a whole lot there. And recently, my brand got tested, where one of my people actually had an objection to my brand and voiced the whole objection, and I had to go back and go, you know, how serious am I about this? And I realized I am really serious about this. This is me. This is my essence coming through and my heritage coming through. And one thing I didn't mention, Andrea, was you know, that the triquetra was also adopted at one point by Christianity as a symbol of the Trinity, and that's also part of my heritage, is that as well. So yeah, but it was great having the conversation, and Andrea was talking about her tattoos and her journey and the pathway that she's on, and it just I could identify with it so much. Andrea, what can you add?
Andrea, before you go, I just want to add on to what Ian says. I'm really proud, Ian, to hear that you are openly talking about your Celtic heritage with the Christianity and feeling comfortable about it. Right? Cool. Andrea, over to you.
Funnily enough there, Ian, Clan Ross actually comes from the Gaelic name is Clan Andreas, which means son of Andrew. So you'll find that there is a connection between Clan Ross and Clan Anderson.
You probably have a common ancestor.
More than likely. So because we don't actually have a clan, we're made up of a culmination of clans. So I was thinking why Clan Ross was so familiar to me, because it's actually in my ancestry book that I'm writing for my family. So being the family historian. Look, it was great, actually, to be honest with you. And I'm, as both of you know, Mike and Landy, it all stems from our ancient civilizations. We are really just made up of, you know, you talk about pixels, you talk about pixels and things, but we're just made up of ancestral pixels. And it's fantastic when you give yourself the permission to go there, because people will already, doesn't matter what you're trying to sell or how you're trying to position yourself, right? Marketing 101. We can see BS coming towards us, right? So not talking about your connection to land, it really, you do yourself a big disservice. And so one of the things I was showing actually was I just got this recently done. So I don't know if you can see that.
What is it?
So it's an angel kneeling on a marble plinth. And this angel is actually my grandfather's headstone. It's Italian marble, very posh. So I just recently got that done. And the reason why I got it done is that my son, whose name is in Hebrew, because it's Yeshua, Son of God, right? Son of God. He is buried at his feet.
Wow.
So I had to get that done after we took him out of the pink box. But the next thing I've got to do on this arm is we're getting fantails. So Mike will probably know what fantails are, but fantails are a special kind of bird for us back home. We call them pea waka waka, And essentially what they are is they carry the spirits of our ancestors. So whenever we turn up at a cemetery, they're usually there waiting for us. Or if we're about to embark on seeing our ancestors, they will come to see us. And so what I'm getting done is the fantails flying from here, from him, around my arm to him.
Oh,
so,
I love it.
Yeah, so that there straight away is a massive talking point, and it gives me an opportunity to really share about my background. But I was also saying to Ian that because of the clarity and because of the clearing, I'm being asked to put together a sleeve to go on this arm, and it's to signify pathway, because it's the pathway going back to connect and then to bring the pathway going forward. So yeah, so that's kind of what's going on in those arms. I promise it won't go to my face.
Why
It
not?
might go out because I don't want to go there. But anyway, so that was just something I didn't really get a chance to share with Ian. But yes, there you go.
Wow.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you, Andrea. That's profound.
Janine, are you there?
Where did you land?
So, Janine, you were with Corbus, obviously.
And I think we have it.
You're frozen, Janine, like the movie Frozen. Are you Elsa or your Elsa's sister? Because you're in Frozen.
So maybe turn the video off and let's just see if we can get some audio going. You've obviously moved.
I think you're frozen. I think she's probably going back and coming back in. So while we're waiting, I'm going to ask you, my darling, what is your spin over years and years of experience with ancient civilizations, sacred sites, sacred wisdom across the globe, touching on many religions, many spiritual belief systems? How have you seen those affect modern day business, especially our business and all the other businesses that you ran? It's a big question. It's a loaded one, but it's a very interesting one.
It's a loaded question, and I'll answer it quickly because Janine's back.
Yeah.
But so the answer is that firstly, in most of the really ancient civilizations, there were no walls. Okay? There was nothing you had to protect against. So I think we've been trained so much to build walls around us that we can't actually allow other people to see our heart. And when our heart is allowed to be seen, as many of you have done on this particular call, you break down barriers that are cultural, religious, it all just disappears. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is that there's so much simplicity in ancient civilizations and in ancient wisdom. And there's so much complexity in the modern world, and that complexity creates fog. So, and that fog is what's overwhelming us. So I think when we break it down and we're able to look back at our past, and each one of your cultures, doesn't matter where you come from, whether you're pure Afrikaans, whether you're Jewish, whether you're a, Maori or Pacific Islander, it doesn't matter. But when you look back at your culture, there's innate simple wisdom, like the 10 Commandments, simple wisdom that we all understand. And if we just focus on that and get rid of the white noise that society has put around us, I think we'll be so much better off. So that's my tip there.
Before we go to Janine, and in working with so many different people, because I think it's something me and Mike pride ourselves on, is the fact that we can go on a soul journey or be at a Bali business school or have a dinner like the one we have in Cairns and have various different people. And I'm not even talking about the standard sexes and races. I'm talking about massively different belief systems coming together and having a conversation, something that I think the world is really missing at the moment. I remember when we were in Mongolia, we saw a shaman there, and we asked the shaman, what is the future of all the religions on the planet? And he said to us, no religion should dissolve their beliefs. That was profound for me. They should keep their beliefs and sit around the table and talk about it. Whereas we now live in a society where people are trying to convince the other one that the one is right and the other one is wrong. And I think if we can take some of that into our businesses, can you imagine the collaborations we can form? Can you imagine the conversations we can have without compromising your own belief system? Because I think a political correct environment has taught us to agree with another one or compromise what we feel. I can't tell you how many people come into the circle of excellence. Then we say to them, if you're a Jew, speak Jew. If you're a Christian, speak Christian. If you're spiritualist, speak spiritual. If you're indigenous, if you're Catholic, do your thing. Just open your heart and accept your brothers and sisters and have conversations with them, right? It's that simple.
So, for instance, we were in India just recently and we were at a movie launch with one of our Circle of Excellence members, and this movie was the history of the Sindhis. So, and how they came from Pakistan to India in 1946 after the partitioning of India, and that was a great movie. We learned a lot about that culture, which is her culture. So, I've not found anybody from any culture yet or any belief system that I cannot create a connection with instantly, providing your heart's open. Let's go to Janine. Janine, you were with Corbus.
Yeah, we have an internet issue, and I think it might be countrywide because he's in Pretoria and he's also having an internet issue.
Yep. And there she freezes again.
We can see Janine. But you freeze very beautifully, I have to say.
Yep. Let's go with the non-camera audio and see if that helps.
Yeah, I'm taking my camera off. I'll try to be quick because I also got another meeting. Actually, with a Circle of Excellence member, we're having a collaboration meeting. Yeah.
Claire's just shaking her head.
Sorry, Janine, you froze again.
But it's the beautiful position in which you've frozen.
I know. It's perfect. I wish I could look like that when I freeze.
I don't freeze like that either, Andrea.
I tell you.
You should screenshot.
Take a photo all of us like that.
I know.
All right, let's do it. Okay, here we go. We're going to go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, and again. There we go. A photo.
Classic. There we go.
I'll put that up on the site.
Love it. I love it.
I think we're about to conclude. Yes. Is there anyone who feels that you want to bring something short and sweet to today in terms of a realization or something that shifted for you? Mike?
Just before we go, Janine, I won't tell her now what she's going to have to do. So let's go with Lundy's suggestion.
Yeah, my thought after this meeting is that we all have unique perspectives. So, there are many people out there that talk about, mental health or AI or sales or something like that, but people will seek us because of our unique perspective, because of our religion and the background and our experience and our former clients, etc. So this is what we need to emphasize when we market ourselves, not just the topics like we mentioned, but also who we are and why our point of view matters and why we can solve their problems. And Mike mentioned last session why we are the #1 expert in our field. And this is because of unique perspective, not because of the topics, because topics and knowledge are everywhere. But we bring ourselves to the table, and this strikes me now, and this is what people buy. And this is the difference between $50,000, $25,000 per speaking gig and $5,000.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I believe, Janov, AI eventually will eat up the topics. Yeah. So all that will be left will be your essence and your life experiences, your upbringing, your ancestry, that unique perspective you bring to the table. So, and that nothing and no one can touch.
I agree.
Thank you, Janov. Anyone else want to share something? Maybe something that inspired you or aha moment that you just want to leave the group with?
I will. So what I took from this group is that there's just so much good stuff happening. Like, when you went into your breakout rooms, Lundy and I were talking, we went, wow, these people are really doing good,
good stuff happening.
Whether it be Claire coming to the end of your 20-year-odd journey there and coming out of that, whether it be other Claire, new relationship, exciting. Andrea's got huge shifts. Yana's got huge shifts. Ian's got huge shifts. Janine had huge shifts. You know, Corbus really, we were so proud of him when we saw him at the Reputation seminar. I think it was in the House of Lords in London. You know, it's not a small venue. So, you know, just so much really good stuff happening. So that's my feedback.
Yeah, and we've just entered the month of Gemini. So, you know, Claire, you Gemini as well, isn't it? So this is all about communication. So, Andrea, I don't think you're going to have technological problems. Of course, Ian, how dare I? Ian, Claire, and Lundy, Gemini. So I don't think with Gemini, the month of Gemini, you'll have technological problems at your conference at all. I think everything will go well. But that is all about communication and collaboration. So who is going to reach out to who on this call? Who's committed to go and meet someone else? Anyone?
I've just given Ian my email address, so he'll flick me an email. We've got to see where the Cuzzy-Bro connection is.
I think so. And who else? Who else is going to reach out to someone?
I plan to reach everyone here by LinkedIn and through email, and maybe schedule a Zoom meeting, short Zoom meetings with all people to see how we can refer to each other and help each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. And when you do that, get each other's WhatsApps. Make it personal. Make it personal. Who else is going to reach out?
I'll probably reach out to you, Ian, as well, because we're coming back to South Africa at the end of August. And we're going to Mauritius. And so we're going to have a week in South Africa again and putting a masterclass together. And I thought with your new leadership thing, could be something we could do together.
Boom. There you go.
Okay. Well done, everybody.
So we'll be having these. We're trying to have these networking meetings once a month. It will be sometimes hosted by me and Mike. It will be sometimes hosted by Diane and Nadia, who brings, again, a whole different perspective. So please continue to show up at these. You never know who you may meet. And we want to make this very conversational. And so this is our initiative for you to, become more and more involved in this cult. Okay.
In the meantime, bye, everyone.
Have a lovely week.
Love you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.